Welcome to Today at Work On, and today I have to drive up to Philly, and I figured, you know what, let me do a gas mileage video on the Sprinter. Remember, this is the 4-cylinder diesel bi-turbo. It's the smaller engine, and if you saw it last year, I used this van and I took my track car and trailered at about 5,000 pounds of VIR. So I feel like the power is sufficient on this vehicle. Remember, they're getting rid of the V6 diesel on these Sprinter vans. They're going to go to, I think, a little bit of a bigger 4. So people need to get used to these smaller engines doing big work. This is a 3500 as well. So, and it's the big boy. It's the 170 extended with the high roof. So I'm going to do this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse the live miles per gallon on my screen in front of my dashboard, and I'm also going to time lapse the actual trip so you could see real time what kind of gas mileage I'm getting. So that's the plan. So I'm going to do going to Philly and then coming home. It's 11:30 on a Friday. I'm going to leave in about a half an hour, so I'm going to try to miss most traffic, but I feel like this is going to be one of the most real world experiences on gas mileage on this van. My van also has almost 10,000 miles, so it's starting to break in a little bit. I'm sure gas mileage will get better in another 10,000-15,000 miles, but I think this is a fair video to see what kind of gas mileage these Sprinter vans actually get. So let's stop talking and let's jump in the van and let's head off to Philly. 4 hours and 4 minutes, 182 miles. Average speed was 45 miles an hour. Miles per gallon at the end was at 21.6. We did hit some traffic at the end. A few observations. When I first got on the highway back in Virginia, I realized that I was only getting like 13, 14 miles at a gallon, and I realized I was in regen. I'm not sure how long I was in regen, but when I looked, it was at 2%, so it was done. And then the miles per gallon started going up. Now, to me, the regen kills gas mileage like crazy. So it's kind of counterintuitive to have the regen. If it's happening, I guess the signs that backs that it's not that big of a deal. But I was really surprised on how low of my miles per gallon I had. Now, the other little issue I had was my tire pressure gauge monitor went off. And it showed I had, I think, 50 up front and 70 in the rear, which is not too low. I'm going to look on the side of the label right now and see where I should be. But going home, what we're going to do is I'm going to check to see where my DPF is and if we're going to go in regen. And then I'm going to change the tire pressures. And we're going to see what kind of gas mileage we get going home. Now, it's not going to be the same exact conditions, but it is a pretty long trip, 182 miles, 4 hours. I'm going to be interested to see if we get more than 21.6 miles to the gallon. That is part one of this video. The next part will be when I go home. I'm going to throw some air in the tires, get the pressures up, and then we're going to see where the regen is. So let's start working on that. All right, we're heading back home. As you saw in the time lapse, it was super short, only 13 seconds. I'm not sure if you had a good gauge on the gas mileage. We'll see how it turns out. The changes going home are gonna be, I'm gonna check the DPF right now. Right now, I'm at 54% on my DPF, so I might make it home without going through a regen. That might make a big difference on the gas mileage. The second thing is I did add about 5 to 10 PSI on the front and rear tires. So the gas mileage might be a little different. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a total gas mileage range, and then I'll also separate it on the trip heading home. So let's get going. I guess that time lapse was definitely a little bit better. So good job by me. I'm still learning things doing this YouTube stuff. What's the summary on the Sprinter van on fuel mileage with the V4 bi-turbo diesel? It's going to get between 20 and 23 miles to the gallon on the biggest scale with the big truck. If you get a smaller 2500, 1500, 144 base, high roof, I think you might get a little bit better gas mileage. Also, speed plays a big factor in your gas mileage. This truck is huge. I mean, it's like a wind wall. Look at this thing. Look how high that is. You know, every mile an hour faster, you're gonna lose some gas mileage, well, fuel mileage since it's diesel. But I'm super impressed with what this 4-cylinder could do. My old van was a V8 Express. I'm sure a lot of you people have those Express V8s out there. And I think the van gave me like 9 miles to the gallon. It was really, really bad. What I also realized, the pressures in the tire helped out a little bit. Maybe that gave me 0.1, 0.2 miles to the gallon. The average speed was about the same coming and going. Maybe I was a little bit faster going home, but I did also hit quite a bit of traffic. So at the end of the day, what we have here is you're going to get between 20 and 23 miles to the gallon, no matter what you're doing, if you're mixed city. And what I also found interesting, the last point was, in traffic, miles per gallon really didn't go down much. It maybe ticked down 0.2 of a gallon, but like nothing that was like crazy to me. So people that are wondering what kind of gas mileage this 4-cylinder diesel gets, well, here you go. Here's the video, and I hope you enjoy this one. And you know, I should be saying this at the start of the video, but if you like this video, please like it. If you like these Sprinter van videos and more to come, please subscribe. And if you have any comments, ask them in the comment section. And I appreciate all the support on the channel, and I will catch you next time.